Steve Tober with John Fiore, the first-year head football coach at Montclair High. And John, we're in the Fuzzy Furlong area of the field house here, and it's just a historic building, great facilities, and I know you couldn't be happier than be starting fresh here at a historic site at Woodman Field.
It's phenomenal. You know, when you, I was actually here the other morning talking to every administrator in the district for Dr. Frank Alvarez, and while he was doing his little retreat here, and the first thing that I said to him is, being a Montclair State University graduate, you're brainwashed at Montclair State. Forget about the athletic history of this place, but this is one of the foremost cutting-edge school districts in the state of New Jersey when it comes to academics. So as a teacher, I couldn't be any more excited than coming here to where, you know, everybody tries to get student teaching here when we were coming out and things of that nature. So that's a dream come true. And then, you know, as far as our football program, you know, you saw the 20-plus state championships in the weight room, and I've met guys from the 40s, the 50s, and it seems like none of them have ever lost a game. You know, I was on 3 state championships in the 40s. I was on 3 in a row in the 50s, you know. So to get back there and do those things, and to the legacy that Clary Anderson and Butch Fortunato have left, and some great coaches like Jack Davies and Ed Labita, you know, it's a long line of historic coaches and big shoes to fill, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity.
And we're talking before we had a press conference here today for the team, and about the ardent fans in this community, and like a Don Bosco Prep, which has a different geographic area of fans. Montclair, though, one of those public school-based communities, and the fans are so enthusiastic. And I know that's just something they have to adjust to a new coach, but their fervent energy is certainly contagious, and you certainly appreciate that in the community.
Oh, absolutely. The fan base here is, you know, Montclair groupies, as some of them have been called. And, you know, that's how I've met all these guys from the 40s and 50s. But, you know, the hardest thing for me to get adjusted to is walking out to practice, and what's funny is I have more fans in the stands for a practice at Montclair than I had for a game at Marlboro. So, you know, it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic, and I think the fans are getting used to us, but I think June 8th or 9th, whatever the first day we can go out there and throw the football, it was 3:30 in the afternoon, we're out on the field, and there's 9,500 people here. And I'm looking around at my coaches going, did we have a game? So it's been a lot of fun.
Talking about Marlboro and spots with Neptune, here you're at Montclair. You didn't have, say, long tenures at those places, but you had success. Mm-hmm. Is this a place at Montclair, and after those stints, you feel this is a place I could settle in and have a career here?
Listen, I'm 42 years old. I have twins, a boy and a girl, 22 months old. I live 20 minutes away, and every move I've made, no matter what people would like to say is why or what, every move I've made has been a step up in the coaching ladder. If you look at it, Spotswood's a very small school. I didn't teach in the district. You know, originally I just went there to coach, to get that head coaching stamp on my resume, because every big interview you go to, they're looking for head coaching experience. So until you get that, and then 4 years down the road, I wanted to get back to the Shore Conference, where I thought I was going to move and live the rest of my life. While I was down there, met my wife. She lived up here. We found a nice place in Cranford together. So I would have been school district. The Freehold Regional is phenomenal. Probably second only to Montclair as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, academically and those things. So I wasn't looking to leave there no matter what the record was. We were building something. We took over a program at Marlboro that was 1-39 or 2-38 before we got there. We beat Toms River North, we beat Howell, we won 6 games in 2 years, and we were going in the right direction. We had 100 kids in the program, and it was a good instance. And my alma mater came calling, and who would turn down going to their alma mater? So, you know, did that, had my babies, and that 45-mile commute starts killing you each way. And when you have babies, you want to get home to them. Here, I have a touchdown club meeting with Pam Riley and the Gridiron Club at 7:30 at night. I'm done at practice at, say, 5 or 6. I can go home, eat dinner, bathe my kids, put them to bed, come back up for a meeting. I couldn't do that at Neptune. So quality of life is unbelievable. And at this point in my life, you know, to get your picture on that wall, I'm going to have to put a solid 20 years in here. And that's the game plan.
It seems like you're still young enough, and I've heard nothing but the energy you've put in here so far. John Purcelli I mean, the time commitment. And that's what it takes in high school football, whether
Right.
you're Lou Rotino or Butch Fortunato or John Fiore in the new millennium, and you're willing to do that. And like you say, geographically is working out. And this is a program that, there's so much potential. It's one of those potential, like in Elizabeth, say, that where you can, the sky's the limit.
Well, absolutely. And, you have a great mix, a diverse mix of young men and women in this school district. And, if you look at the 40s and 50s and 60s, you had a great mix on your football program, even in the 70s and 80s. So, we're trying to get back to that. We're trying to touch on all the talents that we have out there and give these young men a place. Why would you want to go anywhere else? Why would you want to go to, I know if you go to a Montclair Cobras game or one of our Pop Warner games, every Catholic school coach in Bergen County is up in the stands. I want to make sure that they know that they have a place to stay home and they don't have to go there to get the same quality athletic experience. And educationally, there's no better than Montclair. So that's my job. And, you mentioned putting in the time and things of that nature. Well, I was hired March 28th, but we know in education, my true contract doesn't start till September 1st. So sitting in that retreat, our business administrator, Dana Sullivan, was laughing. She's like, I feel like you've been here 2 years already, and we haven't given you one paycheck yet. So, you do this for the love. Any football coach, it's not about the money. We do have to support our families and do things of that nature. So putting the time in, if my babies are napping, there's no place I'd rather be than sitting here and working with these young men. And like you said, the sky's the limit. I had a ton of talent at Neptune. We have a ton of talent here. And, some of the guys we're talking about 2 years from now, and I'm not saying it's going to happen right now, but we have a pretty good chance of making some special things happen right away.
And we've talked before about how a game can turn on a play in the fourth quarter. These guys are in condition that you have on this ball club. We can tell that. And it's hard to predict how good the season could be. It could be a very good season. Yeah. It's a young group, but again, you just take it one game at a time and see what happens.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the main reasons we had 2 quad scrimmages. I wanted them to see as many different defenses and types of teams, types of offenses, things of that nature as we could in a very short period of time, and throw a lot at them and a lot of adversity to see how they would respond. And they're responding the right way right now. Coach Labita doesn't win 130 games if he didn't instill and teach these young men some things that are going to help us be successful down the road. So the young men are buying in, and that's the key anywhere. I don't care who you are. If the kids don't buy into what you're doing and they're not willing to run through that wall for you, you could be Vince Lombardi. If you can't get that done, again, you wouldn't be Vince Lombardi if you couldn't get that done. But if you couldn't get that done, it doesn't matter what you do.
Well, Coach John Fiore, it's great to hear a little bit about you and your background and what you're doing here. And I know Union City is the one team on your mind on September 11th before you even worry about the Super Essex Conference. And best of luck moving forward. And we hope to talk to you more as the season goes on.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Steve.
John Fiore, first-year head coach at Montclair. I'm Steve Tober.